What's going on, guys? And welcome to bullgearrc videos. So today we are going to be upgrading our FMS FCX24. As you can see, I do have the transmission removed. Now, I haven't had any issues with this transmission, but what I do have are these Treal Metal transmission gears for the FCX24. So we're going to disassemble this. I haven't been into one of these myself, so this is going to be a learning experience for me. But I thought we'd just go ahead and throw these metal gears in here, and we would take a look at the condition of the stock gears that are in it and see if this really needed to be done or if we're just upgrading to be upgrading. So I'm going to just start out by taking these 4 screws out of this cover. All right, with those 4 screws removed, take notice that right here is a little guide piece for our little shifting rod for the 2-speed. So let's pull this guy off of here and have a peek and see what is inside. So we see we have a brass pinion gear right off the bat. Looks like there was some lubrication inside of here, and we find our spur gear here, and that seems to be possibly held on by something on this side. So we have 3 screws here. We'll go ahead and take those out and see what we got. All right, with our back cover off, it looks like we have 1 bearing, and then these are just, doesn't appear to be any bushings or anything else in here. These shafts just sit into the plastic indentation. Actually, the gears all appear to look fairly good. I don't see anything really the matter. And now that the backside is off, this actually the pinion or the spur gear just kind of slid out of there. So I guess we need to kind of be careful here what we're doing. Looks like this is our little shifting mechanism. Looks like the let's see if we can get this out of here nice. There's a bearing here on this side. Well, there's plenty of grease in here. It's wanting to stay put. Let's see if we can just kind of push this guy through. All right, we get this shaft out of here, and then this is our shifting fork. So we want to make sure that we keep this stuff in the right positions. Like I said, this is the first time I've been in one of these, so I'm wanting to keep everything the way it is so I don't mess up putting it back together. So let's get into this and see what we have here. All right, so we're going to take this one piece at a time, and it looks like these 2 gears will go on this shaft, and it looks like we are going to retain the plastic shifting mechanism. Shifting fork, I guess they would call that. All right, so there's where we're shifting, right there. All right, so the next piece of this puzzle is going to be this guy and this guy, if we can get this out of here. All right, so we are going to replace 1530, 1530, so both of these are the same. So we will be installing this one, and we will be installing this one. Let's see if this makes a difference in that location. And then finally we will install this one here. All right, so I just kind of threw these in off camera. It's just there's nothing really holding these in place until we put this this other cover back on. So we're going to do that now. We need to make sure that we are lining these bearings and shafts up correctly when we go back together with this, because that's what holds everything in place. So with that being done, let's test our shifting spool, or the shifting fork is moving freely. Yeah, metal gears in. I think I'm going to pull this cover back off though, and put a little bit of grease in here before we reassemble this thing. Now for grease, I'm just using some of this silicone grease from Traxxas. It's easy for me to carry, and it's a nice convenient little tube. And I guess some grease is better than no grease, and I don't see why Traxxas grease wouldn't work just fine in here. So we'll go ahead and get that put in there. I'll put some extra in this void here so that we will grease the gears that are in the back side. And just snap it back together, and we should be good to stick our screws back in at this point. All in all, it wasn't too hard. First time I've seen inside of one of these. Probably not quite as simple to rebuild as an FCX24 transmission, because there's a little bit more going on inside of this guy, but all in all, it's not really bad. Only took a few minutes to put the gear set in. And looking at the stock plastic gear set, I don't see any signs of wear on this guy at all. Looks like it was holding up just fine, and probably didn't need to be changed, but why not put metal gears in it when we can, right? So that's what we're doing, and now we kind of got a idea of what it's like to tear into one of these guys. And that was kind of really one of the main reasons I was doing this. Have to you know, get an idea of what you're working with when you're working on these little guys. And we're gonna go ahead and give this guy a little shot of grease. And again, no bearing here, just the shaft just kind of fits into this plastic, but again, I don't see any signs of wear, so far it's looking pretty good. Looks like it was holding up good. Everything on this truck is pretty much held up good, with the exception of one of the rear plastic portals, which I've changed to metal. And I also have metal differential gears. I don't know if I'm going to install those in this one or not. They are open diff, and we can lock them up, or we might just save those for a different project that might benefit from some open diffs. But anyhow, guys, this really wasn't too bad to rebuild with metal gears, and I do believe it shouldn't be too bad to put this thing back in the truck. And guess what I did? I didn't bear in mind that this screw has a retainer. We got to keep that in mind, guys. There's a little retainer right here for this shift shaft. So let me stick that on there. We'll get it back in the truck, see what it does, make sure I didn't screw this thing up. All right, guys, so we have this thing all installed back in the truck, and just with the body loose, we'll do a little test. Here is low range. And here we have high range. All in all, I would say just a little bit more complicated than the FCX24 transmission rebuild. Obviously there's two speeds, and we have a shifting fork and everything in here. One thing to pay attention to when you do take this apart and you remove your shift servo, just remember which way your shift horn is pointing, so that you know, it shifts it in the right way. But everything went pretty smooth with this guy. Looking at these gears that came out, I don't see any issues with them. Everything looks fine, so I'm not convinced that this was an upgrade that needed to be done. I don't see really any sign of wear at all on these plastic gears. But, you know, like I said, if we're going to, you know, upgrade this thing, we might as well put metal gears in it. We've got metal gears in our portals now. We've got metal gears in the transmission. And like I did say, I do have metal gears that we can put in the diffs. I haven't opened the diffs up to have a peek yet, but judging by what I'm seeing here, I don't know that I will do that right away. I might go ahead and do it, who knows, but I don't see that these plastic gears are really showing any signs of failure at this point. But maybe I don't run my trucks as hard as you do. Anyway, guys, till next time, old Uncle Lee, bullgearrc videos, said I'll see ya.